Back in late February and early March, as the coronavirus was really starting to bite in countries around the world, the stock market started to take a tumble. Although most countries in the world are still very much fighting the reality of coronavirus, with either a slight decline in cases, a steady case count, or an alarming spike upwards, with only New Zealand, Mongolia and a few other places truly beating it, we're starting to see the stock markets open up again and head upwards. And as some analysts are pointing out, the stock market hasn't been reacting as it has in the past, with Wall Street rallying dramatically in the last week alone, and similar markets around the world seemingly accelerating to new highs, even though concerns over COVID-19 abound, and countries like the US confirm that they've been in a recession for the last few months. The exact ups and downs as they are today when I'm filming this are complicated. Some things, like the Nasdaq Composite, are back to where they were before the coronavirus crash. And while yield curves are currently only minimally inverted yield curves are considered a major signal of bad times ahead, the price of gold and silver has skyrocketed, which indicates that a not insignificant number of investors believe that old-fashioned bullion is a better investment than the stock market. Tesla is one of the many companies experiencing an almost unbelievable boost in share price in the last few weeks, well and truly recovering from its $350 per share dip in early March. In recent weeks, it's been buoyed by the restarting of production at both Fremont and Shanghai production facilities, as well as a drop in price for all but the Model Y in some markets around the world. And of course, the appearance of the Cybertruck on Jay Leno's garage, and the use of Model X as a crew car of choice for SpaceX's recent successful launch to the ISS. These have also played a part, if you ask me. But today, Tesla went beyond recovering its share position of early February and punched through the $1,000 price for the first time in its history. It peaked at over $1,025 per share and made it the largest value automaker in the world today. The reason this time? Well, wasn't about any good news on the coronavirus front for sure. A spike in cases in the US coincides perfectly with lockdown restrictions easing, and the Memorial Day weekend, just about 2 weeks ago, would give absolutely no reason for optimism there. Nor is it the news of any change in the global protests over continued murders of black people at the hands of the police. No, this rise in price is because of an email to Tesla staff penned by Elon Musk and then confirmed on Twitter by him last night, in which he told staff that it was, quote, time to go all out and bring the Tesla Semi to volume production. In the leaked internal email, Elon Musk had noted that Tesla had currently been producing limited volumes of the Tesla Semi, which has allowed the company to improve many parts of the Tesla Semi design. While that production has been limited, it shows that to all intents and purposes, it's been developing production, beta, and maybe production intent vehicles during the last couple of months. And the fact that Musk wants to bring the Semi to series production is fantastic news for both Tesla and electric car fans alike. And Tesla's stock price is no doubt riding high on this news, especially on the expectation that Tesla is readying itself to start series production. But wait a second, because this is at odds with what we know about the Tesla Semi to date. First, there's Tesla's own pushback. Originally, Tesla had planned to produce the Semi in late 2019, but then it pushed it back to low-volume production by the end of this year. But in the Q1 earnings report back in March, Elon Musk confirmed that Tesla would be pushing back plans for any kind of production for the Semi until 2021. And then there's the location for production, which seems as yet undecided. In his email yesterday, Musk noted that the battery pack and the drivetrain production for the Tesla Semi would take place at Tesla's Giga Nevada facility, and noted that, quote, most of the other work probably occurring in other states. In other words, while it is fantastic that Tesla says it's ready for volume production of the Semi, it still doesn't have a confirmed location for that production to take place. While Tesla may continue to produce small volumes of Tesla Semis somewhere else, it doesn't yet have the production line process set up for volume production. A production line which is essential for Tesla to achieve good automotive gross margins on the Semi. Theoretically, Tesla could slide semi-production into one of its existing facilities, but this qualifier suggests to me that we're still away from seeing vehicles rolling off a dedicated production line. And to be completely fair to Elon, I want to highlight this and underline it several times, he didn't state a timeline in his production request, only a rallying cry for Tesla staff to bring the Tesla Semi to production. Sadly, some news outlets haven't taken that nuanced bit of information into consideration. I think the lovely Sean Mitchell from All Things EV put it quite well. Quote, reserving enthusiasm for more concrete details like when it's going into production, where and when deliveries will start. Pardon my hesitation, but we're talking about Elon time. Essentially, there's a big difference between this vehicle is ready to enter into production and we are starting production on X. The former means the vehicle's finished its engineering and testing process. The latter means the car, or in this case the truck, is good to go and the production line is ready. And at this point, I'm sure many angry people are yelling at me for trying to be a Tesla hater or a Tesla skeptic or a Tesla short. I'm not. But I'm also highlighting the fact that we, and that's a collective we in the plug-in vehicle world, often dismiss a company which announces an intent to bring a car to market without a production line or a factory to show for said production line to exist. So what is going on? Why did Elon come out of the blue with a mention of the Tesla Semi? And what's the implications of Tesla's stock price rising? For that, I think it's important to examine what else is going on right now. And there's a lot else going on. Nikola Motors, the hydrogen fuel cell and battery electric truck company that's been embroiled in an ongoing battle with Tesla over truck patents, has just completed a reverse acquisition with the Vector IQ Acquisition Corporation. The resulting reverse acquisition, which took place last week, saw the new combined stock rise from $33 per share to over $79 per share yesterday. This was driven in turn by news on Sunday night from Nikola that it would begin taking orders for its hydrogen version and battery-powered version of the Badger pickup trucks later this month. I should note here that Nikola has yet to produce a single vehicle from its production facility. I should also note that many analysts are confused over Nikola has managed the market cap and the valuation it has without producing a single vehicle. Others have also raised questions about the business acumen of the company's CEO. And this all means that the company is one that the jury is out on until we actually start seeing vehicles rolling off the line. And frankly, knowing how much Nikola and Tesla have fought in the past, it's possible that Elon's email about the Tesla Semi production was in part driven by what was going on with Nikola on the stock market. Prior to Elon's email, Nikola was enjoying continued share price rises. Today, as Tesla has soared, Nikola's dropped. It's entirely plausible that the email, a corporate email which Elon must know by now will get leaked, was, how do I put this, planned to smooth over some less rosy news and help keep the share price high. After all, Tesla's had a tough couple of weeks. It and we could do with some good news. Over the weekend, reports of another leaked email suggested that Tesla was struggling to increase the output of its Model Y, thanks to supply chain concerns and also quality control issues. Musk told staff in that email that they essentially needed to double down on identifying issues on the production line that led to quality control issues to ensure that ramp-up could continue. And yesterday, news broke that at least 6 staff at the Fremont production facility had tested positive for COVID-19 in recent days, which was the same day that Tesla lost executive Robin Wren, the company's vice president of business development. He was an executive generally recognized for being the reason that Tesla was able to successfully build its Giga Shanghai factory in record time. Of course, there is absolutely nothing unusual about using good news to help smooth over less rosy stories. Every automaker, no, every major traded company does it in some way or another. And when it comes to COVID-19 infections, other automakers are also struggling to keep that particular killer out of their own production facilities. This is not a Tesla-specific story. Had Elon discussed finalised plans about a production facility for the Tesla Semi, I think that we would all have more to celebrate. But as it stands, it's important to welcome the news, but to also understand contextually that it still may be anywhere from 6 months to a year or more before Tesla Semis begin to take over from Peterbilts on the freeway. And I'm sure we can't wait for that day. That's it. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.